What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, and we give out takes on the Miami Dolphins. It is Friday, October 20th, 2023, and this is the preview for the Miami Dolphins taking on the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. I repeat, I am not going to the game. Decided not to go to this game. Tickets were pretty darn expensive to go to this game at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday night, and instead I decided to hold out on the money, and I'm going to Miami in December to go catch a game. So I'm very much looking forward to that, but we still have a huge game on Sunday night against the Eagles. And I tell you what, from head to toe, I eat, sleep, and breathe Miami Dolphins from head to toe. But some stuff I'm going to say today on this show might make people a little bit pissed off, which is okay, because my idea of all of this is to be honest with my audience and to tell the truth. And today, I'm going to be honest with my audience, and I'm going to tell the truth. And the first thing that I'm going to say is, before we even get into the preview of this game, before we get into statistics and matchups and all that stuff, I would be shocked if the Miami Dolphins won this game on Sunday night. I would be shocked, because we have to remember, the last time the Miami Dolphins had a really big game like this was Week 4 against the Buffalo Bills, when they went into Buffalo and they got the doors blown off them, 48-20. And this Eagles team, number one, Philly is going to be absolutely crazy because it's Kelly Green night. The Eagles have not won their Kelly Green uniforms for years. It's going to be a loud, hostile environment. The Eagles are going to be wearing their Kelly Green jerseys. They're coming off a loss to the New York Jets last week, a very bad loss and a very bad performance from Jalen Hurts last week. And I think the Eagles team are going to be very pissed off, and we are going to be the recipients of that. We're going to be in the face of, redemption from last week for the Eagles. And that's just not me hating. It's not hating, it's stating. So we're going to get into this game, and then we'll get into my final prediction of this game, which is not going to be pretty. I'm just warning you guys right now. It's not going to be pretty. So we're going to get into this matchup. I thank you guys so much for joining me here today. What a day it is. What a day it is today. We are very close to kickoff between Eagles, Dolphins, nearly 48 hours away. Tonight is Game 4 of the NLCS, and even though we're playing Eagles last week, let's fucking go, Phillies, man. Horrible loss last night to the Arizona Diamondbacks, 2-1. But I have confidence that the Phillies can get this win tonight in Game 4. But if they can't find a way to beat the Diamondbacks, then momentum's changing, and I'm going to be very worried. Going into Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7. If we don't win tonight, I think Arizona's going to win the series. That's as much as I'm going to say about the baseball game tonight. But if you guys have not already, be sure to go ahead and check out the Week 7 predictions video here on the Big Fight Field channel, and last week's reaction to the Miami Dolphins defeating the Carolina Panthers 42-21. And advancing to 5-1 for the first time in 21 years. So, let's get into this game, shall we? The Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles. And by the way, before I even get into statistics, it's all love for me. I love the city of Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia fans. I love the Phillies. I love the Sixers. I respect the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is my favorite quarterback in the NFC. I don't have a bad thing to say about the Philadelphia Eagles. I just want it to be a very good, entertaining, clean football game on Sunday night. That's all I'm hoping for. A very competitive game as well. All love to you Eagle fans if you're watching this. All love to you. I got nothing bad to say about Philadelphia at all. As somebody who lives nearly 25 minutes from Philly, I don't have a bad thing to say about Philadelphia. I love their cheesesteaks. I love their fans. I love their teams besides the Eagles. And it's going to be a fun game on Sunday night, man. I love the passionate fans, the hostile environments, man. Let's get into this game. Jalen Hurts, 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. He now has as many interceptions as he does touchdowns, basically the same amount. He has 7 interceptions and 7 touchdowns thrown. I don't know how many interceptions he had last year, but it doesn't seem like that much compared to already how many he has this season thrown, for 7 interceptions already. We'll get into the matchup. First of all, the injury report. Before I forget, we need to go over the injury report. And the Eagles had some guys who might not be playing, and they're going to play now. We'll start with the Dolphins first. We got Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, he's out. He's not going to play. He's back at practice, which is absolutely amazing. His 21-day window has opened, and he's aiming the game against the Kansas City Chiefs to play right before the 5. And if he plays that game, my goodness, what a boost of energy that is going to be for the Miami Dolphins when they have a huge game in Germany coming up in a couple weeks, which I would say right now, that game against the Kansas City Chiefs is bigger than this game against the Eagles. But he's not playing this week, of course. Xavier Howard is questionable with a groin injury. He told reporters today, though, that he feels much better than he did on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and he said he's going to play. I hope he's right. I hope he does play. We need Xavier Howard in this game. Alec Ingold is questionable with a foot injury. Nick Needham is questionable with an Achilles injury from last year, and he needs to play. Because if he does not play the game, his 21-day window opened when they began practicing against the New York Giants. If Nick Needham does not play, his season's over. Because he has 21 days to get off IR, to get on the field and play. If he does not play on Sunday night, his season's over. So look out for that one. And then the biggest one, Connor Williams, groin, questionable. Connor Williams said he re-aggravated that groin against the Giants, and the medical staff held him out of the game last week. It's probably smartest to sit him this week. I know the Dolphins have bigger aspirations than a Week 7 win over the Philadelphia Eagles, but if he does not play, I think this game is going to be worse than I initially think it is. So his status is up in the air. I'm leaning towards he's not going to play because the coaching staff, the training staff, wants to be more optimistic with him as he goes into, as we get into the next half of the season, and we need him down the stretch, man. He's crucial in this offense. Then we get to the Eagles. Safety Reed Blankenship and corner Bradley Roby are both out on Sunday. Bradley Roby is their inside corner, who's the replacement for Avonte Maddox, and Reed Blankenship, their starting safety, the man who leads in tackles. He is out on Sunday, which is a big loss for them. And I saw a tweet that I'm trying to pull up. I want to see about the Eagles secondary, which I can't find it now, but oh well. I'm not worried. Okay, let's get into this game because I got stuff to do. The first pitch at 8 o'clock. By the time I'm filming this, it's 4:40 on Friday. So here we go. The Dolphins offense against the Philadelphia Eagles defense. The Miami Dolphins, first overall offense. Number 1, yards, 498 yards per game. That is first in the NFL. The Eagles defense is ranked 9th with 298 yards given up per game. Dolphins passing offense is ranked number 1 with 323.5 passing yards per game. The Eagles passing defense is ranked 20th with 254 yards given up per game. The Dolphins run offense is ranked first with 181.5 rushing yards per game. The Eagles run defense is ranked second with, I believe, 65.5 yards given up per game. That's unbelievable. And their defensive line is, in my honest opinion, the best in the NFL. You're talking about guys, they've got Brandon Graham, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, Josh Sweat. They are absolutely loaded on the defensive line of the football. That front seven is scary. Their linebackers are good too. They got Nicholas Morrow, Nakobe Dean, who's back and going to start on Sunday night. Zach Cunningham, Hassan Reddick. You can't forget about him too. I mean, my goodness, that man is an absolute animal. He's already got 5.5 sacks this season. I actually thought he was robbed of Defensive Player of the Year last year. I thought it should have been him over Nick Bosa. That man had 17 sacks last year. He's no joke. He's absolutely no joke. What a signing that was for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's an issue. Jalen Carter is an absolute animal at a rookie. Jordan Davis is a monster. Fletcher Cox, Josh Sweat, they're loaded. They're the best defensive line in football, and if it's not them, it's the Jets. They're loaded. But let's talk about their secondary. All right? Let's talk about their secondary. Banged up. Darius Slay didn't play last week. He's back. That's a big get for the Eagles. Terrell Edmonds, their starting safety, strong safety with Justin Evans hurt. James Bradbury, their left corner, who's having an underwhelming season so far. Reed Blankenship being out. And rookie Sidney Brown, he's a rookie, and it's a big test for him. I don't know if this is his first start, but being out there against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, it doesn't seem ideal for him at all. And then they end off with Bradley Roby, their inside corner, is out. So I think it's going to be Josh Joby or Josiah Scott, who they just picked up off of waivers this week. So the Miami Dolphins, obviously their biggest concern is Connor Williams, because Connor Williams needs to play on Sunday unless I feel like Liam Eichenberg is going to get bulldozed by Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter, and it's not going to be pretty for Tua Tagovailoa. I'm just telling y'all right now. The Dolphins' run game has been absolutely sensational, but I think this game is going to have to be won by Tua Tagovailoa. I think one of the main factors that this game is going to come down to is what quarterback is going to make the bigger play. And I'm hoping it's Tua Tagovailoa, man, because the Eagles have a banged-up secondary. Reed Blankenship, which is a big injury. But, I really hope it's Tua. And I think with how good the Eagles' run defense is, we're going to need to depend on Tua. We're going to need Tua to make those throws that he's been making on Sunday night. I think Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, they're going to do their thing, hopefully. Chase Claypool and Jeff Wilson are going to make their season debut. I'm really interested to see how Mike McDaniel is going to use Chase Claypool in this new offense. Is they going to use him as a tight end? Is he going to be a slot? Is he going to be on the outside? I'm very fascinated to see how Mike McDaniel is going to use Chase Claypool in this game against the Eagles. I told you guys, once we traded for Chase Claypool from Chicago, I'm going to give him a couple weeks to learn the playbook, get it under his belt, learn the system. I give him until week 7 until he starts being on the field, and it seems like I'm right. Chase Claypool is going to play week 7. I'm actually really curious to see how Mike McDaniel is going to incorporate Chase Claypool into the offense. So, let's get into my keys. Let's get into my 3 keys for the Miami Dolphins offense against this nasty Philly defense on Sunday night. Number 1 is protect Tua Tagovailoa. If the offensive line does not protect Tua Tagovailoa, it's going to be a long day for the Miami Dolphins offense. It's going to be a really long day. We've got Kendall Lamb, Isaiah Wynn, Connor Williams if he plays, hopefully, Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson. All those guys need to bring their absolute A game because this defensive line is no joke. They can bully you. They can get to the quarterback very fast. They can disrupt Tua. And something that they're going to have to watch out for is batted balls. Because batted balls, Buffalo had 3 batted balls against, something was in my mouth there. I didn't know what it was. Buffalo had 3 batted balls against the Dolphins, and it threw off their rhythm. We're going to have to watch out for that because that cannot happen. So protecting Tua is big because if he cannot stand in the pocket and be able to get to this Eagle secondary and be able to make throws to Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Mostert in the backfield and Braxton Berrios, if he can't do that because the offensive line is collapsing in front of him and the defensive line is getting to him, man, we're going to get boat raced off the field and the game's going to be over by fucking halftime. I'm telling you right now. It could get very ugly if we don't protect Tua like we didn't against the Buffalo Bills. The offensive line has allowed 6 sacks this year, and 4 of them was against the Bills. We need to do better. We need to do better. Number 2, and I know this is very obvious, but no turnovers. You cannot have turnovers that come back to bite you in the ass. You can't have the turnover you did against the New York Giants, throwing a pick 6 in the end zone, throwing a pick 6 returned for 97 yards, or a pick in your own territory, setting up the Giants at great field possession, or Raheem Mostert fumbling the football against the Buffalo Bills, or Tua throwing a duck against the New England Patriots, throwing an interception to Christian Gonzalez. You have to limit the turnovers. You have to. It's crucial because if you're turning the ball over, man, the Eagles are going to take advantage of you because the top teams are going to take advantage of you, and the Philadelphia Eagles are a top team in this league, no doubt. And then number 3, man, get the ball to your playmakers, baby. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. I'm not sure who the Eagles are going to have lined up on them. I'm guessing Slay is going to be lined up against Tyreek Hill all game, having Tyreek Hill or having Slay shadow Tyreek Hill all game long. It's going to be a big matchup, a fascinating matchup to watch between cornerback and wide receiver. And I give the advantage to Tyreek Hill in that one, man. I think Tyreek Hill can hopefully go and win that battle for us, but we'll see. I'm hoping the offense does good in this game because I don't think on the other side of the ball, I don't know if the defense can be able to keep us in this game because I don't trust this defense whatsoever. Let's get into the Dolphins defense against the Eagles offense. The Dolphins defense is ranked 20th in the NFL with 343.5 yards given up per game. The Eagles offense is ranked second with 395 yards per game. The Dolphins passing defense is ranked 19th with 252.5 yards given up per game. Eagles passing offense is ranked 9th with 257 yards per game. The Dolphins rushing defense is ranked 20th with 114.5 rushing yards given up per game. Eagles rushing offense is ranked second with 150 yards. So right there behind us, the Eagles are the second best offense in the NFL. And I'm telling you guys right now, their game plan is going to try to be playing keep away. They're going to keep Tua and Tyreek and Waddle off the sideline for as long as they can. So you know what the boys are going to do? They're going to run the ball. And they're going to be able to run the ball because their offensive line is built up with a brick wall with Jordan Mailata and Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson. They're absolutely loaded at offensive line. And you wonder why they're able to run the ball so well. Is because their offensive line holds up. They find big gaps, and they're able to get holes for the running back to get 15, 10, 20, 50 yards. They're going to want to keep the offense of the Dolphins on the sideline. So they're going to take up as much time as possible, and they're going to want to pound their rock. Also, Xavier Howard. With this week's matchup against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, which is no joke, probably the second or third best wide receiver duo in the NFL between Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. If Xavier Howard does not play in this game, the secondary is going to get toasted. Kato Kohu got absolute toasted by Stephon Diggs. Eli Apple is toast. Who are they going to throw out there? Perry Nickerson? Good luck with that. They need Xavier Howard. Hold on. I got to charge my computer, so they need Xavier Howard in this game. They absolutely need him. So let's get into this keys. Let's get into the keys. And usually I would say get to the quarterback pressure, but I just don't think that's a realistic possibility at all this week, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think that's realistic. Against this offensive line, I don't think the Dolphins' defensive line is going to get pressure. They can get pressure. They have the capability to, but, a lot of people were saying this week, if the Jets got so much pressure on the Eagles, why can't the Dolphins? Folks, the Jets have a much better offensive line. The Jets have a much better defensive line than the Miami Dolphins do. Yes, the Dolphins have talent, but they can't get home against the good quarterbacks. And against mobile quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, I don't think it's going to be a scenario. So these are my keys. Number 1, keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. What I mean by that is when they're trying to protect Jalen Hurts and our corners are trying to cover our wide receivers, keep him in the pocket, make him make a shitty throw, make him make a tight throw to earn that first down. Don't let him get into the open field scrambling and finding a big patch of grass and then letting him use his legs. I think he can hurt us badly with his legs. Because when we face multiple quarterbacks in the past, we've had to face Lamar Jackson, takes off for 75 yards. Justin Fields takes off for 60 yards. Josh Allen takes off for 30 yards. You got to keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket. Make him throw. And I know Jalen Hurts has a strong arm. I watch the Eagles a lot, man. But it feels like their offense is not the same as it was last year. But I think if there's any team that they can get an offensive spark against, it's the Dolphins defense. I really do. Number 2 key for the Dolphins defense is create turnovers. Turnovers are going to be a key in this game for both teams. Because the Dolphins defense have a trouble of creating turnovers. They didn't get a turnover against, I don't think, and it's quite sad, I don't think they've gotten a turnover since week 2 against the week 3 against the Broncos. I'm sorry. They haven't gotten a turnover since week 3 against the Denver Broncos, which is quite sad, in my opinion. They need to be able to force turnovers on the Eagles. So if that's an interception or a fumble or a muff snap, get on top of it, man, because we need those turnovers. And then number three, get off the field on third down. Do not try to get in third and short situations, fourth and short situations, because what's going to happen, I don't even have to say, brotherly shove, first down. Try to make them force 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10. Get off the field quickly on third down, because if you're not getting off the field on third down, they're going to continue to do what they want to do, and that's keep the Dolphins' offense off the field. I'm telling you guys, that's their game plan. That's going to be their plan going into this week, is they're going to try to run the ball down our throats with DeAndre Swift and Kenneth Gainwell, and there's going to be run designs for Jalen Hurts. They're going to want to keep Tua and the Dolphins' offense off the field for as much time as possible. So those are the 3 keys, okay? Keep Jalen Hurts in the pocket, create turnovers, and get off the field on third down as quick as possible. Now, I said in the beginning that I don't think you guys are going to like what I have to say about my prediction. And from head to toe, I love this Miami Dolphins team. I think the Dolphins team is doing great things so far this season, obviously, with 70 points against the Broncos, 37 averaged points per game. That's unbelievable. Average nearly 500 yards per game. It's great stuff. It really is. But I don't think this Dolphins team is getting the job done against the Eagles on Sunday. And the reason why I say that is because I think it's going to come down to what team is more physical in the trenches. And I don't think the Dolphins are a physical football team. They're fast. They're absolutely fast. They can get the ball out like that. They can get the ball to Tyreek, to Waddle, to Mostert. They're a fast football team. I don't think they're physical. And the Eagles are one of the better physical football teams in the NFL. And I think that defensive line for the Eagles is going to cause havoc. I think it's going to come down to what quarterback is going to be able to make plays, and I think it's going to be Jalen Hurts because of the defense he's going against. The Dolphins' defense have not proven to be good against good offenses in the NFL. So I can't have optimism against good offenses that we play until I actually see the defense have a good performance against a good offense. And I just don't trust them. I don't trust them. And with the environment and the Eagles, they're going to be wearing their Kelly Greens. They're coming off a terrible loss against the Jets last week. I think the Dolphins are in for a rough one, unfortunately, guys. I'm praying I'm wrong. I would love to see a Dolphins win on Sunday night and be 6-1. That would be, I told you, if the Dolphins beat the Eagles on Sunday night, I would be shocked. I really would. I would be shocked if the Dolphins won. But this is the second time I pick against the Dolphins this year. Week 1, I picked the Chargers. Week 4, I picked the Dolphins to beat the Bills, and they got their asses whooped. So I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football, and I'm saying the Eagles are going to win this game by a final score of 42-20. I just don't think that it's going to be pretty for the Dolphins. It might be close going into halftime, but I think the Eagles are going to run away with it in the second half. Tua is going to make bad turnovers, and the Eagles are going to run away with this game. I'm going Eagles 42-20 over the Miami Dolphins. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel for some more content. We'll be back Sunday night for the post-game recap video of the Dolphins-Eagles game, win or lose. I will be here no matter what, breaking down the game for you guys. Subscribe, comment down below if you're a Dolphins or Eagles fan, what you think of this game this weekend. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph. And I will see you guys Sunday night after the Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. Have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. And I'm out. Peace. And fins up.